am at Emma Willard's Academy for Young Lesbians. Help! Let me out of here. Plus échange. Plus c'est la same shit. Are you coming straight home, Miss June? Because I am. I want to see you. Or are you still in love with Gretchen Lascelles?
For your information, I'm not taking Gretchen Lascelles out anymore. I brought her home after the Penny's party, and my father caught us on the couch. He told me that he didn't care what kind of girls I took out as long as I didn't bring them around my mother, even though my mother was still up in bed. Still, I guess Gretchen can be embarrassing to older people.
I hope to see you in June, then.
Can't come home in June, sorry. I have to go be a counselor at the school camp for poor kids from the urban slums. I'm vice president of my class now, and I'm supposed to set an example of social responsibility all through July. I'll be writing you letters, though, and I hope you'll write me.
I don't want to write letters all the time. I really don't. I want to see you.
You just need more confidence in your letter-writing ability. Sometimes you manage to attain a very vivid style.
Won't you please just stop writing about writing and come home and go to the Campbell sports party before you go up to that stupid camp? Please. I behave better when you're around. In person. Please.
Greetings from New Hampshire. This card shows the town we're near, where we sneak in and buy beer. We're cleaning the place up now and putting out the boat docks and caulking the canoes because the kids arrive tomorrow. Gotta go, right soon.
I miss you. I really wish you had come to Campbell's sports party.
Dear Melissa, Sandy McCarthy arrived from home for the second shift here at Ken, and he told me all about the Campbell sports party. He said you wore a two-piece bathing suit and ran around goosing girls and pushing boys into the pool. Do you enjoy that sort of crap? He said the other girls were furious at you. Don't you want the respect of other women? Sandy also said you let Bucky Zeller put a tennis ball into your cleavage. Are you a nympho or what? Don't you ever just like sitting down somewhere and making conversation? Sandy says you're turning into a hot box. Do you like having that reputation? Hell, I thought there was a difference between you and Gretchen Lascelles. Maybe I was wrong. Don't you care anything in this world about anything other than hacking around? Don't you feel any obligation to help the poor people, for example? You know, sometimes I think your big problem is you're so rich, you don't have enough to do. And so you start playing grab-ass with people. I'm sorry to say these things, but what Sandy told me made me slightly disgusted, frankly. I wrote you a letter from New Hampshire. Did you receive it? Are you there? Or are you visiting your grandmother, or what? Are you sore at me? I'll bet you're sore at me. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm a stuffy bastard sometimes, aren't I? The hell with you, then!
Ooh, big tough Andy using four-letter words like hell.
Screw you!
And don't you wish you could?
Everyone else seems to be.
Don't believe everything you read in the papers. Dear Andrew Makepeace Ladd, the turd. I just want you to know you hurt me very much. I just want you to know that. Now let's just leave each other alone for a while. All right? All right.
Dear Melissa, my mother wrote me that your grandmother had died. Please accept my deepest sympathies.
Thank you for your note about my grandmother. I loved her a lot, even though she could be a little boring.
Congratulations on getting into Briarcliff. I hear it's great.
Thank you for your note about Briarcliff. It's not great, and you know it. In fact, it's a total pit. But it's close to New York, and I can take the train in and take drawing at the Institute 3 days a week. And in 2 years, if I stick it out, Mommy's promised that I can go live in Florence. I hope you like Yale.
Would you consider coming to the Yale-Dartmouth game Saturday, October 28th?
I'll be there.
Uh-oh, damn, I'm sorry, Melissa. I have to cancel. My parents have decided to visit that weekend, and they come first, according to them. My mother says she'd love to have you with us, but my father thinks you can be somewhat distracting.
You and your parents, let me know when you decide to grow up.
How about the Harvard game, November 16th?
Do you plan to grow up at the Harvard game?
Give me a chance. I might surprise you.
Okay, let's give it a try. You should know that I'm even richer now than when you said I was rich, thanks to poor Granny. I plan to drive up to the front gate of Calhoun College in my new red Chrysler convertible and sit there stark naked, honking my horn and drinking champagne and flashing at all the freshmen.
Here's the schedule. We'll have lunch at Calhoun around noon, then drive out to the game. Then there's a sea breeze party at the Fence Club afterwards, and an eggnog brunch at St. Anthony's the next day. I'll reserve a room for you at the Taft or the Duncan. Probably the Taft, since the Duncan is a pretty seedy joint.
Make it the Duncan. I hear the Taft is loaded with parents all milling around the lobby, keeping tabs on who goes up in the elevators. Can't wait till the 16th.
The Duncan it is. Hubba, hubba, Goodyear rubba.
Dear Andy, this is supposed to be a thank you note for the Yale-Harvard weekend, but I don't feel like writing one, and I think you know why. Love, Melissa.
Dear Melissa, I keep thinking about the weekend. I can't get it out of my mind. It wasn't much good, was it? I don't just mean the Duncan, I mean the whole thing. We didn't really click, did we? I always had the sense that you were looking over my shoulder, looking for someone else. And ditto with me. Both of us seemed to be expecting something different from what was there. As for the Hotel Duncan, I don't know. Maybe I had too many sea breezes. Maybe you did. But what I really think is that there were too many people in that hotel room. Besides you and me, it seemed my mother was there egging us on, and my father shaking his head, and your mother zonked out on the couch, and Miss Hawthorne and your grandmother sitting on the sidelines watching us like hawks. Anyway, I was a dud, I admit it. I'm sorry. I went to the infirmary on Monday and talked to the doctor about it, and he said these things happen all the time. Particularly when there's a lot of pressure involved. The woman doesn't have to worry about it so much, but the man does. Anyway, it didn't happen with Gretchen LaSalle's. You can write her and ask her if you want.
You know what I think is wrong? These letters, these goddamn letters. That's what's wrong with us, in my humble opinion. I know you more from your letters than I do in person. Maybe that's why I was looking over your shoulder. I was looking for the person who's been in these letters all these years. Or for the person who's not in these letters. I don't know. All I know is you're not quite the same person when I see you, Andy. You're really not. I'm not saying you're a jerk in person. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that all this letter writing has got us messed up. It's a bad habit. It made us seem like people we're not. So maybe what was wrong was that there were two people missing in the Hotel Duncan that night. Namely, the real you and the real me.
Whatever the matter is, we're in real trouble, you and I. That I realize. So now, what do we do about it? Maybe we should just concentrate on dancing together. Then we can still hold each other and move together and get very subtly sexy with each other and not have to deliver on the goods all the time. You know what I mean? Come to think of it, maybe that's why they sent us to dancing school in the first place. Maybe that's why dancing was invented.
At least we should stop writing letters for a while. You could start telephoning me, actually. Here's our dorm number, Wilson 1, 2486.
I hate talking to you on the telephone. Yours is in the hall, and ours is right by the college dining room. People are always coming and going and making cracks. Telephoning is not letter writing at all.
I called the telephone company and they put a private phone in my room. Rogers 2, 2403. It's sort of expensive, but at least we can talk.
The reason I'm writing is because your phone's always busy, or else ours is. But I can't afford a private one. Maybe we should just start writing letters again?
No letters, please. Now order that telephone. I'll lend you the dough. Just think about it. You can talk back and forth and hear someone's real voice and get to know someone in life, rather than on writing paper, for God's sake. Now get that phone, please.
I'm writing because when I telephoned, you just hung up on me. One thing about letters, you can't hang up on them.
No, you can tear up letters, though, and close them to pieces. Send them to Angela Atkinson and Sarah Lawrence.
What the hell is the matter?
I hear you now writing letters twice a week to Angela Atkinson. That's what's the matter.
Okay, here goes. The reason I'm writing Angie Atkinson is because I just don't think I can stop writing letters, particularly to girls. As I told you before, in some ways I feel most alive when I'm holed up in some corner, writing things down. I pick up a pen and almost immediately, everything seems to take shape around me. I love to write. I love writing my parents because then I become the ideal son. I love writing essays for English because then I am, for a short while, a true scholar. I love writing letters to the newspaper, notes to my friends, Christmas cards, anything where I have to put words down. I love writing you most of all. I always have. I feel like a true lover when I'm writing you. This letter, which I'm writing with my own hand, with my own pen, in my own penmanship, comes from me and no one else, and is a present of myself to you. It's not typewritten, though I've learned how to type. There's no copy of it, though I suppose I could use a carbon. And it's not a telephone call, which is dead as soon as it's over. No, this is just me. Me, the way I write, the way my writing is, the way I want to be to you, giving myself to you across the distance, not keeping or retaining any part of it for myself, giving this piece of myself to you totally. And you can tear me up, and throw me out, or keep me, and read me, today, tomorrow, and anytime you want, until the day you die.
Oh, boy. Andy. Love, Melissa.
No, I meant what I wrote in my last letter. I've thought about it. I've thought about all those dumb things which were done to us when we were young. And we had absent parents, slapping nurses, stupid rules, obsolete schooling, empty rituals, hopelessly confusing sexual customs. Oh my God, when I think about it now, it's unbelievable. It's a fantasy. It's like the Oz books when, the way we grew up. But they gave us an out back in the land of Oz. They made us write. They didn't make us write particularly well. They didn't always give us important things to write about. But they did make us sit down and organize our thoughts and convey those thoughts on paper as clearly as we could to another person. Thank God for that. That saved us, or at least saved me. So I have to keep writing letters. If I can't write them to you, I have to write them to someone else. I don't think I could ever stop writing completely. Now, can I come up and see you next weekend? Or better yet, won't you please escape from that suburban Sing Sing and come down here and see me? I wrote my way into this problem, and goddammit, I'm writing my way out. I'll make another reservation at the Hotel Duncan, and I promise I'll put down my pen and give you a better time.
Dear Andy, guess what? Right while I was in the middle of reading your letter, Jack Duffield telephoned from Amherst and asked me for a weekend up there. So I said yes, before I got to where you asked me. Sorry, sweetie, but it looks like the telephone wins in the end.
Dear Melissa, somehow I don't think this is the end. It could be, but I don't really think it is. At least, I hope it isn't. Love, Andy. What a 15-minute intermission.